condensate pump for removing moisture or water from the A coil on the heating and air looks something like this. A 3/4 pipe would go in this hole, or this hole. It would discharge out of this hole with a hose, a clear hose. Question, how does this thing work? If we look at the mechanics of it, if we come over here, if we look inside here, there's a float. So the water would pick the float up. Okay, when it picks it up, it has like a little relay thing here. If you look at this little metal part, okay, when the water picks this up, so this would be a normally open relay. I'm not sure if relay is the correct term, the HVAC. So under here, as the water rises, here, it picks this float up. When it picks this float up, it takes that metal part, and there's a little button underneath it probably, and it pushes it. So this is a 110 plug-in here. So we hypothetically have one wire coming here. We have another wire coming here. This would be the separation point on these two terminals here. This would be a normally open, meaning it wouldn't run. So I'm not sure if this wire, normally on a 110 you have a hot and a neutral, so you have a hot and a neutral and a ground. So I'm not sure if this would be the neutral or if you're breaking the hot here. So I'm just assuming this may be the hot, this may be the neutral. Any HVAC gurus, they can add this. And I'm assuming the green wire, as it's connected to the metal here, would be the ground wire. So how does this work? Simply put, water goes in the bottom, it begins to fill up. Okay, when it gets to a certain degree, then the water begins to pick this float up. Well, when it picks this float up, you see the little metal thing here. When the metal thing comes up, I think there's a little push button on the bottom of here. If you could take this apart, and it would actually push this one. So hypothetically, this little thingammy here may be a normally open relay. When the water picks this up, it probably got a little button on the bottom, if you could see it, and say hypothetically it pushes it up, the water pressure pushes it up, so it closes this. So this normally open circuit would be like a cutoff light switch. Once it pushes it up, this power goes from here to here, and it makes a full circle to here. And then you have the whatever, I'm not sure if this would be the neutral wire or the hot wire, I'm not sure. I'm thinking it would split the hot wires over here, but I may be wrong. And then on the green, we just have it grounded on a piece of metal. So it's a pretty simple invention, pretty nice little idea. So the water fills up. When the water fills up, as you can see, it would push this up. We're mechanically pushing this up by hand. When we push this up, kind of acts like a seesaw. It takes that piece of metal, pushes probably a little button on the bottom of here, the metal, when it pushes this button up. And then this would be a normally, just if we called it a relay, so this relay would be like this. It would be normally open. Okay, when we push this button up and it makes a contact, then this relay would be here. So this electricity would go from here to here to here to the motor. The motor would come on, and it would discharge the water out of here if everything was working properly. So again, the mechanics of a condensate pump, we just simply, we'll just use the needle nose. We have a normally open, hypothetically, relay. The water pressure builds up in here. Once the pressure builds up, it kind of acts like a little sump pump, and then it pushes here. So when it pushes here, it pushes a button, and this normally, this relay here, say a normally open, if relay is the correct term, I'm not sure if that's the correct term. Once this normally up, it pushes that, it becomes normally closed. This electricity goes from here to here to here, and then if this is the neutral and the ground, and then the motor starts spinning, and then it starts discharging water. So the basics of how and then it's got a little cap thing that kind of goes on top here. I'm not sure. I think it goes that way. But so but the mechanics of the discharging the water from a condensate pump. Thank you for watching.